Hey,
Yes,
what's going
sir.
on out there, man? It's time for the 95 North Sports Machine, man. It's a short week, and we're
Ooh,
gonna try
boy.
to make this thing as short as possible because game day is tomorrow, not Sunday,
What?
believe it or not. And
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
we go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week, man. It's gonna be quite a show, quite a battle. But speaking of battles, man, one of my good friends joined the battle tonight. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle James Canada. He's been supporting me for the whole 10 years that I've been doing this. And when I tell y'all God is good, man, God is good. Because when I need James, he right there, man. And he don't take sides. I'm a Falcon fan, he a Bucs fan. So we still do our thing. But before we get started, man, James, please tell the people what's up, man.
Hey man, thanks again, Smitty, for having me like always, man. This your boy Big Game James, former Buccaneers defensive tackle and host of Big Game Sports Buzz and Game Peter Perspective here on YouTube and Facebook, man. But I'm glad to get here and talk a little bit of Buccaneers ball with y'all tonight.
Yes,
Facts, facts,
sir.
facts. So let's get it with the crew, man. The 95 North Sports Machine crew, man. Our boy Berto had to take the night off. He had other obligation, man, but he will be back Sunday. He will do the play by play for the Bucs and the Falcons at 1 o'clock, man. He will be on at 12:45. So y'all please tune in to that. Hell, I might jump in with him because I love to talk football while the game is going on. Ask Chris, my commentary is legendary because I knows how to
To say
do
the
it.
least. To say the
But
least.
bro talk, man, tell the people what's up, and then Chris, man, you give him a holler.
What's up, everyone? Another week, short week, man. It blinked. Week 4 was over. We're already into week 5.
Yeah.
It felt weird. I felt like rushed trying to just recap and look at what the Falcons did against the Aints, and then having to look right away at what the Buccaneers are doing just to kind of see what we're expecting. But I'm excited. Excited to talk Bucs football, especially with the former Bucs. This was a nice surprise, and yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, man. Happy to be back on here with the usual suspects, man. Of course, we're gonna hold it down for our brother Berto. He playing hooky. No, I'm just playing. He wouldn't do that. But man, happy to be back on here, man. Chris Tipmore, A1 Forever Sports. And man, we're about to get into week 5. Prime time, Amazon matchup, man. Bucs and Falcons. Another rivalry week.
Facts, facts, facts. As we always do, man. Before we get this thing rolling, man, let's get to the chat. Mr. Dwayne Ruffin out there in sunny Southern California, man. What's good? Mama Torres, this is Alberto's mother, man. She's a big fan of the show. Shout out to Mama Torres. She always supporting the show. Our boy Winston Thornton from the iTest. Y'all go ahead and smash that like button like he said. Here's what's going on, fellas in chat. Miss Francis Hunt Washington, also a big fan, man. Been following me for a good little while. She's always in the chat dropping those questions. Everyone's worst nightmare. Forgot what team he's a fan of, but he's always in the chat. Yeah, from Union City. Michael Gordon, Mr. Tim Riley, man. Y'all can also catch him on Dirty Bird Fanatics. And he says Dirty Bird Nation Die Hard. That's his group on Facebook. So y'all go check out that group, man. They always have great conversations in there. Joe Baxter said, have y'all heard about Devontae Adams? Me personally don't want that defensive with his contract. And if they pay some of that contract, if we can get the cash, I would go for it. Tyreek Johnson says, what's up, fellas? Winfield will not suit up tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. Ron Smith.
That's a big one.
One of our biggest fans of the show, Miss Angela Myers, is tuning in. She said they got power, so thank God for that. They got their power back.
Amen.
So,
Amen, man.
It's been tough down there, man. So,
real.
God bless them, man. God always on time. I tell y'all that all the time. Trick 654. Raymond Poser, what's good, man? Rise up. But let's get into this show right quick, man. The recap from Sunday. We're going to recap both wins, man. We're going to let you start, James, with the Buccaneers beating down the Eagles 33-16. Give us your quick thoughts on that.
Man, I love when people like C.J. Garner-Johnson come out talking about belts to asses, and the only ass that got beat was his with the belt that the Buccaneers delivered to him. But being truthful with you, Smitty, going into that game, I was nervous because of what we looked like against the Denver Broncos. Baker Mayfield was under pressure from the Broncos. We couldn't get things going. Bo Nix looked good. I thought that Jalen Carter and Graham, that Philadelphia front four, was going to be able to put a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield. But the line held up. Baker distributed the ball well to a bunch of different receivers. look good. Bucky Irvin is going to be a good running back to combat Rashawn White. So with the way they played and the way that defense held up with the injuries that we have, I'm very happy, and I was actually impressed with how they put that game together down in Raymond James.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. And I got to give a shout out to Todd Bowles, man, because with the injuries that they've had, he's got that team playing. And that loss to Denver, that could have happened to anybody. I think that had a lot to do with the weather, man, the altitude. Players just wasn't feeling it. And they were just
it was in Tampa. It was ain't no altitude down there. 813.
I thought it was in Denver. My bad.
But I think it was got beat down at home. Yeah, we got beat down at home. But I think they look like, hey man, we got Philly coming in next week. We're gonna beat the sorry Broncos, and this is what we got to do. And Sean Payton came out and had something for Woodham and hit him in the mouth. And you know, any given day in the NFL, a bad team can look good.
Right. Any given Sunday.
Right. And we know Sean Payton with those dink and dunks. That's exactly what he did with Bo Nix. And he's going to keep doing it because that's Sean Payton. That's the way he plays. But the Falcons coming off a big win, man, against the New Orleans Saints. Kev, give us your thoughts right quick.
Yeah. I mean, we know we're not playing our best ball, period. period. And the fact that we're after 4 weeks, we're 2-2, I can say I'm extremely happy. I am looking again. It's beating a dead horse. The offense, Zach Robinson, Flo, Kirk. He said it in the presser. He's not reading the field correctly, and we could attribute that to his slow start that he's been, pegged to have year in and year out, even in Minnesota and Washington. Defensively, I think we saw some good things in coverage. We put Derek Carr. We didn't make him. We didn't give him anything easy. And made him go through his progressions. And that's where he kind of struggles. I saw a lot of cover 8, cover 6, a lot of disguise schemes. And it was great to see from Jimmy Lake's guys. And it kind of looks like the defense is starting to kind of find its flow. I want the offense to get there as well,
Yeah. And Troy Anderson, like I was just saying, man, he had his best game as a Falcon, definitely, man. He was all over the place. He was instinctive. I think he played really instinctive instead of just seeming like he was trying to think or cheat his way through the game. So it definitely was great to see. Hopefully he builds off of that. I understand we're going to be without him on tomorrow, and that's a big loss. So we'll get to that in a minute. But ultimately, though, I mean, he almost pretty much won that game by himself. I mean, and we've been on him. I know a lot of content creators been on him. We've been on him, and like he showed up definitely. So you got to give the props when it's due. And he definitely took care of business. The offense, man, it's been real. I say it's been decent. I feel like the offense has been real mono. Real mono. And I need that bass. What's a beat without bass? And honestly, the offense needs to pick it up. And we're going into week 5 against another divisional opponent. Even though the schedule gets easier, it's still going to be tough because week in and week out, if you're sputtering, you're not going to be beating teams. And again, that third down, I said as far as like on offense. And go what you say, bro.
Does the schedule get easier? The Seahawks are better than we thought. The Broncos defensively are better than we thought. The Commanders are better than we thought. So I don't think it's as easy.
Jaden Daniels scary right now.
Oh man, Jaden Daniels, man. Think about Jaden Daniels. Y'all know that was the only quarterback I would have traded up to go for. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you did say that.
I'm not surprised at all that he's balling. And it's crazy that we're talking about these teams being better than what it is, and we're talking about facing like teams who dial up pressure and everything. We have to face all 3 of the top teams right now that are dialing up blitzes, that blitz the most. Number 1 are the Vikings, number 2 are the Broncos, and number 3 are Tampa Bay at 34.7% on blitzing. We got to face all those teams. So it's like on paper, it's supposed to get easier, but to bro talk's point, these teams are better than what we think. And then it's any given Sunday. You dial up the right pressure, have the right schemes, have the right chemistry, blow up the right plays. You already know it's an L. So,
and Miss Angela, she's going to start my point off on my part of the recap. You got to lean on the run game this game. You got to keep that Tampa Bay offense off the field. And even though Trey Palmer and what's the other receiver, the rookie receiver, he's hurt. So both of those guys are going to be out.
He's out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think you're going to have to run the ball, control the clock. And I said this in my 3 keys to victory. Use Tyler Algier, man. He's been held back early on in the season. I know Bijan was the number 8 pick, but sometimes you got to go with the hot hand. And I tell people that all the time. If you go with the hot hand, you let him wear down the defense. Then you bring in Bijan and let him, after they're tired, you let him do his thing. And you could use him more in the pass game. If you have Algier running the football, use Bijan more in the pass game. Let him take advantage of those linebackers and safety, just like I say with Kyle Pitts. Because one thing about it, if you have uber athletic guys like that, as far as Pitts and Robinson on the field at the same time, both in the pass game, that could open up a lot of problems for the defense. And Jay know where I'm going with this. But run the football this game, and I think the way they ran last week, they could have done a little bit better. But the pass game is starting to come around, just like Kev said. And I think it's going to get better as time goes on because he's getting reps in his system. And I know people mad at Zach Robinson. Hell, I was mad at him too. But at the end of the day, you just gotta be patient. And if you be patient, hey, good things will come. But the win against New Orleans, I think them losing Taysom Hill was big. I think after they lost Taysom Hill, they lost their momentum. And after they lost that momentum, Atlanta gained their momentum on defense. And once they started getting off the field on third down, making key stops, I think it gave them a little bit of energy in the end. And I think that was the difference of them winning this football game.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
Quick question for you, James.
Yes, sir.
How surprised are you with Baker Mayfield's start to the season?
I'm kind of 50-50 on this, and I'm going to try to make it make sense, Smitty, because coming off of last year, I like what Baker Mayfield did late in the year, and I was nervous, though, when Dave Canales left. To bring in Liam Cohen, not knowing what he was going to do, coming in from the University of Kentucky, getting into an offensive coordinator role really for the first time at this level, I was not sure what was going to happen. No one thought that the Buccaneers would be sitting at 3-1 right now. I know I did about 2 or 3 NFC South roundtable shows, and I was the only person that didn't pick the Buccaneers to come in 4th place in those shows, right? So to see what they're doing right now, really with Baker Mayfield, 984 yards, 8 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, staying upright for the most part. The Detroit game, he took, Aiden Hutchinson got him 3 times in that game. Denver got some pressure on him, but to be able to be protected the way he has with that young offensive line and injuries up front, I like Baker Mayfield's composure right now, and I think Liam Cohen is calling the game just right for what he does well. Move him around a little bit in space. Don't keep him back in the pocket too long. He gets in windows, being that he's not the tallest quarterback in the world, and he's getting the ball out of his hand pretty good right now. So I'm pleasantly surprised with how Baker's doing right now.
Question on to follow up what you're saying is, you kind of answered my first question is, do you think it's more of the new offensive scheme, new offensive coordinator, or do you think it's Baker just building off of what he had last year towards the end?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think Liam Cohen came in, studied what went well under Canales, and kind of geared it towards that. Rashad White is a running back, but really he's an extra receiver out the backfield. So he's always utilized as an outlet. We always say the quick passing game is just another version of your running game if you can get those good running backs in space. Whenever Baker doesn't have to hold the ball long and force it downfield, he's not bad. And then that's what's been opening up the long ball 1 or 2 times a game for Mike Evans. So it's working well. Cohen's doing a good job of building on, I think, what Canales started in Tampa last year, and Todd Bowles is letting his offensive coordinator do what he needs to do while he's doing what he wants to do on the defensive side of the ball. So it's been a good thing right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Another thing too, though, James, I noticed something. You guys, your defense are getting turnovers, and you're not turning the ball over. I think those are kind of key factors to those wins as well, don't you think?
Big time. And then, Chris, a person that I think a lot of people didn't think was going to step up and play the way he did when we traded Neal to the Lions is McCollum. Zion McCollum is playing good football in that secondary right now, making really good things happen. And so the takeaway game is big because one of the things that always scared me, I know we got other points we're going to talk about. I said this on my Buccaneers show, preseason show. How are we going to get pressure on quarterbacks without having to blitz all the time? But we've been able to hold up in those blitzes and apply that pressure. And that's the one thing that always makes me nervous in a blitz-heavy team is if you don't get there with the blitz, you're susceptible in the secondary to giving up a big play or the passing game to hit you over the head. But they've been doing a pretty good job right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Facts. But speaking of injuries and keeping up, about the key injuries in this game, man, both teams are dealing with injuries. And they're significant, true enough. But how are y'all feeling their performances with these injuries the last couple of weeks?
Me personally, I'm surprised at our injuries that we held up because I mean, coming in, drafting someone last year and Kalijah Cansey like we did, thinking that he was going to be able to step up and play, and to have the injury that he does right now, to not know. They just said the other day that it may be longer than anticipated. Yaya Diaby was hurt throughout most of training camp, came in. He's starting to pick it back up now. Offensive line banged up. I mean, Antoine Winfield Jr., to me, and no offense to Jesse Bates or anything else, best safety in the game. Out there, potato for potato, apple to orange, depending on what team you like, you're gonna rock. But Winfield's one of the best safeties in the game. And to be able to play these last two games without him, it's kind of been surprising to everyone. I think the Buccaneers they'll say that they knew they had that depth and talent all along. But realistically, whenever you step onto that field without that all-pro on the field, you're a little nervous at first until you see how those backups step up. And they're doing a good job right now.
What do you think what do you think Todd Bowles is doing to help that? I don't know exactly who stepped into Antoine's role because this is the second week he's missed. What do you think he's doing to help that safety in the back end? Because, like you said, if I was missing Jesse Bates on my defense, I'd be nervous. As all get out for something to go over the top.
Well, talking to a couple different people I know down there still, it's just the way they practice and what he instills in everybody. The scheme helps that people know what they're doing, and they're just making sure that Christian Azim knows where to be at the right times and not make a big mistake. The linebacker core is playing pretty good right now, so it helps take a little bit of that pressure off that back end once you got that middle of the field covered up and playing really well. And I think it's just a credit to Todd Bowles and their scheme right now. So many times, so many Bucs, especially Buccaneer fans, because I love them and they hate it. I hate them at the same time. A Buccaneer fan will piss you off so quick to one bad game and it's fire Todd Bowles. And I'm just like, well, shit, he's on the ball sometimes. He's not catching. It's a lot of different aspects that go into it. So the defense is playing well, and that's what he's been good at for so long is, putting up and scheming great defenses to make things happen. Right now, it's showing that, and I'm not going to say you never take nothing away from your great players, but it's almost like the next man up mentality, and we'll get a guy in our system that can go in and do it till these guys get back.
Right. I got a question for the panel. How close and how tough is this game going to be for both teams? Because you have the OC of the Bucs versus the OC and the head coach of the Falcons, and we know they all know each other well. Just that similarity and that familiarity, knowing, going battling each other in practices, in training camps.
That'll make it for a great battle of the minds to see who can win a chess match. And what you have to do is put your best players in the position to make plays. I think that is what is going to be key. You're going to have to put Bates and Simmons in a position to make plays, to force turnovers. And also, you're going to have to use for the Falcons, you're going to use Matt Judon. You have to use him creatively against this Tampa Bay offensive line. But they would definitely have to get pressure on Baker Mayfield, and that is where Jimmy Lake, if he can dial up enough plays to get some pressure on Baker Mayfield, I think that's going to be key. But again, I just Todd Bowles, he's going to have these guys ready. And the way, as I said earlier, running the football, that's why it's going to be key, because I feel like he's going to bring the kitchen sink this game. Because he's going to have to throw. Yeah, he's going to have to throw Kirk Cousins off his off rhythm if they're going to have a chance to win this game. So yeah, it's going to be a chess match, and I'm really excited to see it on a short week. And we all know on a short week you try to make the game short as possible. So that's why I said you got to control the clock.
Yeah. I feel the same way. It's gonna be a hard fought battle. Both defenses have tenured coaches in the NFL. You know, we have a first time play caller in Zach, who's been in the league in numerous positions, but then you have a new play caller for the Buccaneers coming from college. And it looks like he's doing well. So how can each defenses throw them off their game plan, right? How can they get them uncomfortable? For the Falcons, I agree with Smitty. You run the ball, and Todd Bowles will not blitz as much on those play actions because he's going to load up that box and be playing the run, or he knows in key situations he's just going to drop back. And for the Falcons is how can you disguise and confuse Baker Mayfield the best you can, because he is playing good ball. If you don't know already, I am an avid Baker hater, not because of what he's done in the pros, but because of what he did in college. The way he exited Texas Tech. That's why, and it's kind of traveled. But anyways, he's playing good ball, and I can't take that away from him. So it's what can those defenders do? And to have Judon on that line, you have Tristan Wirfs. The kid is a beast. And Judon isn't that speed guy. He's more of a power guy. And you know, when power meets power, it kind of it stalls. So I'm really going to look for Jimmy Lake and Raheem to game plan on these stunts, attack those younger offensive linemen, confuse them, make them overcommit on their block. That'll free something up in the middle, because if you're in Baker's face, that's where the panic starts. That's where the mistakes can happen and good things can happen for the Falcons.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel like every year you never know what's going to happen in this Buccaneers and Falcons matchup. We always seem to split. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So often it's like the road team will win, then the home team will win. You just never know. A couple of years ago, I know a lot of Falcons fans felt like they got cheated so bad with the Grady Jarrett call on Tom Brady.
Come on, man. You're a defensive tackle. I know.
I'm a defensive tackle, but I'm all the way 100 when it comes to the game. That was not a personal foul at all. That was a Tom Brady call. I'll be the first to admit that. So this being our very first NFC South game, I know it's going to mean something for us to try to go ahead and take the lead in that division with everything else that's going on. The league is going to be way more competitive than it's been. And I've said it to a lot of people. We've gotten so much slack over the past few seasons about the NFC South being the worst division in football. And I think it's far from that right now between the way the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers are playing. We won't talk about the Kitties up in Carolina right now because they just don't exist right now. Although the Red Rifles trying to help a whole lot.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah, I always get it. To me, I always believe in it, and this came from just the way Tony Dungy used to coach us when I played. The feel of the game after the first quarter makes me believe what I see. And I'll know more after that first quarter, like, okay, this is going like this. I think we can do this to win this game. Oh, Lord, it's going like this. It's going to be tough. But, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game and a close game. I just really feel like that's the way it's going to be because of what this rivalry is becoming between Tampa and Atlanta.
Right. Hey, man, we got to run the ball. Tampa gives up 5 yards per carry. I know we give up yards on the ground, but I mean they do too, and I mean over 131 yards per game. Thunder and lightning this game, man. Thunder and lightning. Bijan and Tyler. They can't keep up with Bijan, and they don't want to tackle Tyler. So it's just like you're going to have to counter those blitzes. You're going to have to put. I believe you should go across the middle too. You have some good protection. So you're going to have to pick up some of those blitzes and be able to attack that middle with Kyle Pitts, D Moon, Ray McLeod. I mean, I feel like you can. This is a game where you should be able to do that. And honestly, Antoine Winfield is not going to be back there. And I trust Kyle Pitts against Dean for the Bucs, man. I really do. I feel like we should attack the middle. I feel like we should use our running game and beat up on the Buccaneers, man. We have to because we're battling injuries. They are as well. I believe it's going to be a close game because it's a division rivals and both teams really want it. And also for Tampa, they're not going to have to worry about being outside. They're going to be in a dome. So we're going to see how they play on this in this AC, man. We're going to see how we have to get after it. We're really going to have to put some things together. We're going to definitely have to put it together.
But before we go on, man, y'all please go to BGSE Big Game Sports Entertainment. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so every time he drop a video, y'all to know it. Like I said, man, James been rocking with me the whole 10 years that I've been doing this. And he was actually my second NFL guest. And we stayed in touch, and man, we've been rocking ever since. And shout out to his co-host, man. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. He gets on my nerve, but he one cool dude. we call him the buff nerd because he would aggravate the hell out you, but he one cool dude, man. One cool dude. But next question, man. Key matchups in this game. James, we're gonna start with you. What's the key matchup you think in this game?
And I think. Go ahead, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you got it. You got it. Go ahead.
Every week I go into it saying the same thing. I believe our offensive line versus y'all's defensive line, and I'm a little biased when it comes to the game. I might be the only NFL fan that try to rewind it and rewatch the front every time because I get mad they pan to the pass and I can't see what's going on in the box. But Cody Mock has been hit or miss for us. You know. The way he got dogged out against Denver, I was like, oh, my God, are they going to kill him against Philly? Next thing you know, he looked like the second-round pick that he was that we drafted. Tristan Wirfs, I never really worry about. And then Graham Barton, the rookie at center, has been doing his thing. So, realistically, we know that we need to keep Baker upright to have a chance to win the game. So, for me, key matchup is going to be the fronts and on both sides because Chris said it. Giving up 5 yards a pop on the run, that is not good at all. And it's going to be something that we're going to have to do. And to keep seeing all you Falcon fans talk about Algier, and I'd be like, shh, nah, man, don't talk him up. Please don't speak him up. I know it's going to be a tough thing, but to me, key matchup on both sides for us, the Buccaneers. I want to see how we handle both sides of the ball up front.
Yeah. Miss Lisa Shepherd, how you doing? Thursday night football.
What's your key matchup?
Mine, I feel like a broken record. It's Zach Robinson versus Todd Bowles. What game plan can happen? And I bring up Zach Robinson's name every time because it looks like he's calling better games week in and week out, kind of finding his footing. My thing with him is mixing up that run game. We want to drill the run, right? We are the highest averaging percentage-wise of the outside zone, and I think that's a bit inflated because of our week 1 and week 3 games. Week 2 and week 4, inside zone, outside zone, split zone, duo. Like it was a mixture of everything, and it kept the defense on their heels, and you saw it against the Aints. When Kirk hit that play action, those linebackers bit hard. And that's going to be key. So can Zach continue the success he had on his play calling? And then it's up to the players to actually execute. So that's my key matchup for this game.
Go ahead, Chris.
My key matchup for this game is the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons are my key matchup because these guys have been shooting themselves in the foot all season with penalties. You know what I'm saying? To prevent touchdowns. We've been sparing teams all year long because we've been leaving points on the field all year long against every opponent. And to make matters worse, we are 12 for 38 on third down.
How many of those are 3rd and 7 and longer? How many times are we in 3rd and 7 or longer?
Got to be at least 30.
Gotta be at least 30 of those times. No, seriously, we have to do better, guys, because it doesn't matter who we play, whether if it's the Panthers, whether if it's the Chiefs. If you don't execute on third down, it's going to be hard to beat anybody in the NFL. Anybody with basic knowledge of football knows that. So it's just like we have to put boots to asses and get these first downs and take some pressure off our defense, because guys, as good as our defense has been, they really could have been better if they had more time off the field. This defense has to get off the field. You know, they've been giving up 10 play drives or better. Time of possession has not been on our side. These are the things that need to be fixed for me, more so than the play calling or anything like that. It's the execution. Like, what are you doing? You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're giving teams other opportunities to beat you. Stop beating yourselves, Atlanta Falcons. I mean, it may sound crazy, but I mean, other teams are good, yes, but you are definitely shooting yourself in the foot every single game.
He
on fire that thing up. What? Hey, Kev over there got his Goku on. He was.
Hey man, I'm trying to be quiet. Apparently, I'm clanking too hard. My bad.
You're clanking too hard, man. You're clanking.
Granddaughter don't miss a damn thing, boy. I tell you.
Well, what? I don't talk that loud, bro. I'm sorry, I couldn't hide you.
Oh, my bad. My wife made me dinner and said, "Here, take it in the room for you. Hopefully, you can eat." And I've just been trying. That's why I keep ducking down.
Next time, press the mute button.
Oh, right. Right. My bad. He like, I ain't used to this, y'all.
Yeah, man. My key matchup for this game, man. I know I said Tyler Algier has to be key, but I feel like, man, the Falcons secondary against these Bucs wide receivers gonna be key. If they can keep Michael Evans under 100 yards, I think they have a great chance to win. And we all know that Godwin will kill you in those scenes. So this is why the pass rush is going to be important. But both of those guys, they can put up 100 yards any given Sunday. And Mike Evans, he could go for 200. We know how he is. With A.J. Terrell, he's physical. A.J. always has problems with him. So what A.J. is going to do, he's going to hit him in the mouth at the line of scrimmage. He's going to jam him up as soon as they snap the ball. And if they can keep Evans under 100 yards, I just think they have a great chance to win this football game. So,
right.
That leads us
to. How y'all feel about Mike Hughes going one-on-one with Chris Godwin?
Ooh, I actually don't have a problem with that because Mike Hughes been playing very well this year. No, I don't have a problem with that.
Is Godwin still lining up primarily slot, or is he the Z for the?
I think he's still slot.
So that's D. It's gonna be D though. Then that's gonna be D Alford's matchup then.
Right, or Clark Phillips. Right.
Yeah, whoever's in at that point. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough matchup.
Yeah, so those key matchups, man, for us to y'all. But y'all can drop y'all key matchups in the chat while we go.
Oh yeah.
But we talked about the key matchups. Let's talk about the guy that could make a difference in this game. And I think y'all already know mine, but X factor for this game.
Oh, we talking X factors, baby. Hey, real quick, hey, highlight Carl Thomas, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I said this last on our post game Sunday. Carl Thomas down at the bottom, man, giving Mike Hughes some love, man. He is the best corner on the team right now through 4 weeks.
Relax.
Through 4 weeks. Through 4 weeks.
Everybody take a deep breath.
Through 4 weeks. I don't want to hear it. Through 4 weeks, he has been the best on the team. He's been playing his best football in his career. I got to give him props for that.
Mike Hughes, I was not familiar with your game, and I apologize. I was one of the guys that was not excited about him out there. But, yes, I will say he has been playing out of his mind. I like the resurgence. So, thank you for proving me wrong.
And you got to give credit to Jerry Gray for working with him, man, because Jerry Gray was his coach in Minnesota when he was drafted. So, he knows him very well, and he's helped him adjust to this system. So, shout out to Jerry Gray, man, for doing a good job with him. And I see another name up there, Mooney. And I said this the other day on another show. He's our number one receiver right now. Just like Chris said about Mike Hughes, Darnell Mooney is the number one receiver right now. There's no disrespect to Drake London, but Darnell Mooney is doing what he needs to do to make plays.
Mooney made me go pick him up in fantasy, dog. I can't even lie to you.
All right.
Might not even be available.
Yeah.
All right.
Might not even be available. But X factors.
Oh yeah, we about to get into it. But real quick, I just had to give him his love too, because I was one of them people that didn't believe in Darnell Mooney at all. I was like,
No,
"What
you
the
didn't.
are you doing, Falcons?" So I gotta. Hey, I'm just saying we gotta give credit when it's due, and when you're wrong, you're wrong. And Darnell, boy, I was wrong about you, boy, because you stretch the field. You really can catch the ball at all levels. And honestly, it really was the quarterback because he is second in targets behind Drake London, and he has been a deep ball threat, intermediate and short. So
Right.
I can't say nothing about it, man. Thank you, Darnell, for proving me wrong.
That's a good point about Sterling Shepard. And y'all got to also remember he played with Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma, so they have some kind of chemistry. So he will be the third receiver tomorrow night. So just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, especially with
McMillan is hurt, right?
Too. Yeah,
because McMillan and
Palmer got beat up a little bit too.
Yeah, Palmer. He scored a touchdown last week too.
Palmer.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I got two, if that's okay for me to.
That's perfectly fine.
X Factor committee. One, Vita Vea, his second game back from injury. I think our defense goes as Vita Vea goes. If he can control the middle in that front, even with the blitzes, or if we had to dial it back some with the run game that you guys might try to hit us with, Vita Vea, I believe, is going to be big in this game. And then the person that I've been talking about in position that I've been weary about all season long, Cade Otton at the tight end position actually played well last week. I think with what y'all have coverage-wise and what y'all may try to do to Evans and Godwin, you might help a little bit more with those safeties on those receivers. And if that's the case, K9 is going to have to be able to step up big and make plays when Baker needs to go to him, man. So I think those might be two guys that are going to be the X factors for us this week.
And Otton could be key also because our linebackers are jacked up this week. Man. So that could be a crucial matchup for real. But Kill, who your
I was gonna say that's all right. Richie wants his get back from last year. He's gonna be put on Otton. Watch, gonna lock him down. No, I'm just messing.
Please,
but my offensive X factor is gonna be the main man. I've been seeing it all over my timeline. It's Kirktober. It's Kirktober. It's time for him to wake up and start actually navigating the field instead of just locking in on one read based off the pre-snap look, because Zach Robinson's been receiving the heat for this offense and he deserves some of it. I'm not saying he's getting off free, but what I've seen more is Kirk is deciding where he's going no matter what. And then when it's not there, he kind of starts panicking and isn't actually seeing the field. So he's going to have to do that and do it quick. I really hope he looks Pitts' way, because there were times he was open and just Kirk didn't give him the opportunity. Everybody's been screaming that, Kyle Pitts. Well, partially it's his quarterback not giving him that chance. So that's my offensive X factor. Man, you could go numerous ways on the defensive X factor, but I'm looking at the rookie, JD Bertrand. Most likely going to get his first start in the NFL. Our first rookie of this draft class going to get get a start, get some significant playing time. Does he go to the edge when we go into a penny front like Caden has and Caden stays in the middle? Or does he have to plug in now where Nate was, Troy was, and now he's got those shoes to fill? I saw someone point out that JD was drafted because he fits the style of defense. If he can use his instincts, what I saw in the preseason, it was good things. When he was thinking too much, that's where he did not do well. When he actually just used his instincts of what he saw instantly, that's where you saw the guy that the Falcons drafted. So that's who I'm looking at defensively.
Facts. Yeah. Okay. Offensively, y'all know where I'm gonna go. Tyler Algier,
go ahead.
Damn ball, point blank, period. Hit him in the mouth. Just like you said, Vita Vea is coming from injury. We have injuries on the offensive line, but like I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Run the football. Get it. Run the football, and then if you run the football successfully, guess what? Kirk Cousins gets to do his thing where he's good at, and that's play action. So if you get Tyler Algier going early, and if he can get you a good 80, 85, 90 yards, I think he's done his job for the day. And if you can mix him in with Bijan and they both run for a combined about 150, That's a recipe for a win. So running the football is going to be key. Defensive side of the ball, I said a little bit earlier, I think A.J. Terrell is going to be key. Mike Evans is probably going to be the main target in this game with Chris Godwin in the slot and Trey Palmer going down and Sterling Shepard. He's going to get some looks. Like I said, they play together at Oklahoma, so they have some chemistry. But you cannot deny Mike Evans, 6'5". Then got a wingspan like Godzilla. But they're going to take a lot of Godzilla. They're going to take a lot of shots downfield this game, I think, just to see how they can test AJ in that secondary. So I think even though he'll have Simmons or Bates over the top, it's still going to be a tough matchup, no matter who it is. You're talking about Mike Evans, future Hall of Famer. So Tyler Algier, AJ Terrell are going to be my X factors for this game.
All right. I am going with Mr. Zach Robinson yet again. I just didn't see enough against the Aints. I did see a lot that I did like, but there just wasn't enough offense. I need to see in the passing game Kyle Pitts involved, going across the middle. Again, I trust him against Dean, and to try to expose that secondary some. I want to see Bijan Robinson again going up against a linebacker. Going against what's my man name? Britt. I don't think he can stay with him. I don't think he wants to see him. And of course, so we definitely have to run the ball with Tyler Algier because they don't want to tackle him. I mean, it's just that simple for me. Zach Robinson, get this offense going because we are coming into week 5. I don't want to be going into week 6, week 7, week 8, still talking about, he's a first-time play caller. I just don't. That's just me personally. I mean, I give him his grace, and we don't jump on him like Arthur Smith. But at the same time, it's just like we need to continue to see some chemistry and some consistency on this offense. Defense, I need my veterans, man. I need my veterans this game. Judon, Grady, Onyemata. We need to stop this run game because I believe they're going to try to test us because we give up 145 yards a game. So I expect them to try to at least test us.
But that's misleading. That's misleading, Chris, because most of those yards came from Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, and those guys. After those two games, they gave up a good little bit last week, but I just think it's a little bit misleading. But go ahead.
I mean, it was still 131 last week. So, I mean, regardless, it's still bad to me. So I need my veterans to step it up. So I need my veterans this game. Attack that right side because they have a backup right tackle. Come at them with different stunts and schemes, man, to try to get Baker on the ground. Why? Because the Falcons are 32nd in sacks right now, and we need more. And they're also 27 and 28th, respectively, in pressures and pressure percentages. We need to step this up. Baker Mayfield has been sacked 15 times, the 5th most in the league. We need to attack this offensive line, and we need to make him uncomfortable. We need to get him on the ground. We need more than just pressures. We need more than just hurries, and we need more than just QB hits. We need to get Baker on the ground. That's my X factors, man.
So I have a question. If we flipped coordinators, do you think Zach Robinson has the success with the Tampa Bay Bucs because they've had the same quarterback, they've had the same skilled players? Do you think he has success there? And then we're not talking about his issues. What do you guys say there? Because I think, kind of thinking about it when Chris made the comment, it's like we don't want to say he's a first-time play caller. You got a guy from Kentucky calling plays for the Tampa Bay Bucs who has success. How much of that is because they have that chemistry already from the returning players? Something to think about.
Yeah, I think that's what it's from. When you have chemistry with somebody, as far as players, I think it means a lot. And you see it right now when we just signed these last 2 offensive linemen. The main reason why they brought them back in Matt Hennessy and what was the other guy that they brought in?
Was it Elijah Wilkinson?
Elijah Wilkinson. Both of those guys were former starters.
And now Rashad Evans.
They have chemistry. And they have chemistry with this line. So Raheem said it before the season started. transparency, being familiarity with teams. He said that's what he's going to shoot for, and that's exactly what he's doing. And when you have familiarity, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but wait. Last time I checked, the Falcons got damn near most of their team back too. So what the hell is our chemistry?
Hold on. But you got a new quarterback who still, even though it stems from the same offense, right? That Sean McVay tree, Kevin O'Connell tweaked and twisted his offense, and it doesn't coincide 100% with what Sean McVay's doing. So even though Kirk is somewhat familiar with the offense, he's still learning it. And then you have Darnell Mooney, former Chicago Bear, Ray McLeod, former 49er. Yes, the offensive line is pretty much the same, right? We have injuries here and there. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Tyler. But then your other offensive weapons are you're still learning each other. So that's why we say it's like kind of be patient. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, we have these high expectations. Yes, we want success right off the bat. And I'm guilty of it as well when I'm watching the game. Like, why are we doing that? Why didn't we hit that? But then you have to remind yourself, it's a long season. We want to win these key matches. I'm not saying like, oh, it's okay to lose, but have those mistakes and learn it. And we can honestly say from week 1 to where we are now, there's been improvement.
Definitely.
And if there was an improvement, go ahead.
But you also want to know why too, though, because you also had a quarterback who's never been injured coming off of a major injury. And you didn't give him no snaps. So we just had a preseason weeks 1 through 4. That's also another key factor too.
Yeah.
But that's not on us. That's on the,
that's Raheem. That was Raheem's. That was Raheem's decision.
Get a 10-day break. He does get a 10-day break after this game.
I don't want to be.
That's the new NFL, though, y'all. The new NFL is 3 preseason games. Starters don't play, and the first 2 weeks of the season look like 7th grade middle school football.
Yeah.
Until they get going. So it just depends on what team can overcome that a little bit faster.
Do you think they should shorten the season like it once was and then still have shorter preseason games and give that kind of like, I guess, an extra camp between the season? No?
I'm old school, dog. These guys got it so goddamn easy now compared to when I played and what they do and they only wear pads once a week. Give them that damn 4th game back so they get the look they need. That 3rd preseason game used to be the dress rehearsal for the season. You don't really have that anymore because of the way they do things. And it's evident when you go out there and see these week 1 performances, you like they look like they ain't played football all year. Well, they ain't doing that all summer. Yeah. They're too busy worried about brands holding out for contracts and then not getting their ass on the field of practice. And it's evident when they step onto the field the first couple of weeks. Then as fans, you gotta, you just praying that you hold it together, don't have no division game too damn early. You can get through it by the time they get gelling again. I don't think there should be a division game scheduled before the 5th week of the season. Personally.
What about bye weeks? Teams are already on bye weeks this week.
They're starting bye weeks this week, but the way it is with 32 teams, you got to start getting them in. I would say 6 weeks in, but 5, 6. But you got to start getting them in. You don't want them too early. Then you don't want them too late because you still want to try to get a break when you need it somewhere in the season. And that's tough right there. You're at the mercy of the schedule makers.
Yeah, right.
Let me ask you this real quick, Big Game. Just staying on that whole bye week thing. If we go to another game being added, do you think they'll have 2 bye weeks during the season?
They should. If they go to the 18th game, they need to throw 2 bye weeks in there. I think it's only right for the for players and their bodies. Now, like I said, I'm talking a whole bunch of smack because I played for an old school coach to where we went full pads all the way to about week 12. You know what I'm saying? We'll play 16 games with the Dungeons and shit. We was getting after. We was hitting all year long. So I'm kind of old, but no, if you're gonna add that extra game, that extra wear and tear, get the TV money right so the players get the increase that they need in the pay. And give them another week to rest their body throughout the season if you go to 18 games.
I think that's right.
Injuries going to happen. Injuries going to happen. But our favorite part of the show, the score prediction. And I know I'm going to get some wilds in the chat. Y'all in the chat, y'all drop those score predictions because I know they're going to be wild. But give me y'all score predictions right quick.
Definitely start with Big Game.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the road, Gotta find a way to score. We did it in Detroit. I think we'll do it again here in Atlanta. Buccaneers will win 24-17 is what I'm going with.
Ooh.
That's a good score though.
Oh man. You know, we talked about the defenses. How are they going to game plan? You know, young offensive coordinators, but both teams, to Smitty's point, a little inflated for the Falcons on the run game. I think it's a little bit higher scoring than what we're going to expect. A little fun Thursday night game for the fans to start off week 5, but I have our Falcons winning 30-27. Our first 30 piece of the year.
I like it. You going Smitty or what you going to do? Oh, me?
Ahead,
all right, cool. Well, let's see. I know the last game, it seemed like, offense couldn't get going. A lot of kicking for 3. This game, I think it's going to be different. Damn, what? 23-23. Anyway, my bad. That had caught my eye. What the heck is going on? It's going to be a close one. It's going to be
overtime time.
It's going to be exciting, but it's still going to be close. I'm going to go with 27-22 Falcons.
That's a good one. I'm on board with Kev. I think with both of these teams with significant injuries, I think that's a cause for a high scoring game. Baker Mayfield, we know he can put up. He's probably the MVP conversation already, so we know he's going to come to put up points. But I'm gonna go Atlanta at home, 31-27, and I think they will score a late touchdown and take this game as well. I can see Kirk Cousins putting up good numbers, but like I said, Tyler Algier is going to be key to this game, and I can see him getting a 100-yard game, especially with the middle of the Bucs line banged up. I think he's going to do his thing this game, and I'm going 31-27 Atlanta Falcons.
Good stuff.
But Big Game says a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, so, Falcons are a 1.5 favorite right now. Where the line's at right now. Granddad, somebody asked that in the chat, but yeah, they favored it right now by 1.5.
Okay.
I mean, this game, if we're really thinking about it, it's going to be a good game. Could go either way, but yeah, I like Smitty's prediction where it really comes down to the wire. No one really pulls ahead. You grind it out, but I think we're going to see some points fly up on that scoreboard, which will be fun, and fantasy owners will be happy. Maybe a Pitts touchdown. I don't know.
I'll be praying for that one, but we'll see. But look, this has been another great show, man. Like I said, my boy Alberto will be back on Sunday for Bleacher Report after the game, and then during the game he will be on the play-by-play. So y'all go check him out on the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Again, like thank James for coming through, always supporting your boy, man. Always supporting the sports machine. But James, before we get out of the man, tell everybody where to find you.
Man, again, thanks again, Smitty, 95 South Sports Machine. I appreciate y'all. You can catch me on X, it's BGSE Network, or JCan97 is my personal one. The YouTube channel is BGSE Network or Big Game Sports Buzz. That's on YouTube and on Facebook and IG, man.
Facts.
Love it.
Kev, Bro Talk, tell everybody where to find you, man. I know where to find you, but tell them where to find you.
But you guys can find me on X. It's at BK2 I'm working on changing that so it's more Falcon related. You can catch me there, daily tweets, live react to everything, not just Falcons, but NFL in general. And on TikTok, Dirty Bird Central, daily posting, mainly some breakdowns, film breakdowns, not only Falcons, but NFL in general, just giving my thoughts. Like to share with the masses of what I'm talking about. And we got the YouTube channel, Dirty Bird Central 7. I am live there for live reactions every Sunday, this week, Thursday. And then hopefully we can start dropping some all 22 videos and get that going. So it's in the works, but that's where you can find me.
Hey, man, we waiting on their prediction on TikTok, too. I'm just letting you know off top.
Just saying, man. Well, you predict.
Just letting you know.
My predictions are up. My weekly predictions are up. Hey, go check it out.
Check it out
for every team.
Check it out when I get done. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, man, you can always find me on A1 Forever Sports, the platform on YouTube. Be generational because it's always time to be, and don't you settle for less because you always can have more with the vision, man. I'm just thankful, for the opportunity to be up here, so on the panel with the bros. be on here with a former NFL player, you know what I'm saying, that knows what he's talking about in big game yet again. And, you know, I'm just enjoying the ride, man. Taking everything that's coming to me and coming for everything they said I couldn't have. So, and again, you can definitely find me on Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Got videos and everything on there, man. Definitely just check me out. Definitely come by, have a conversation. Rise up, go Falcons. Let's go 3-2.
Hey man, you forgot to thank the people for passing the milestone the other day. You got to thank the people,
milestone,
man. Oh man,
okay. Smitty won't let me be modest for nothing. Okay, all right. So it's just been a lot going on, you know, in the world of A1 Forever Sports. We have crossed the 1,600 mark on YouTube now. We've crossed 1,000 followers on TikTok now, and I know like I'm doing like a small little role now also with NBC, Amazon. You know, Thursday night I'm gonna be at the game tomorrow and doing some things behind the scenes. So I'm thankful for the opportunity. So that's now CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports for your boy Chris Tipmore. So working my way to the ultimate goal.
You supposed to always share that stuff because God is blessing you, and you can bless somebody else who's thinking about getting into this field. So always bless my brother.
He definitely is.
It can inspire somebody. Because trust me, I know I done inspired multiple people to start a YouTube channel. So and I get a kick out of doing it, man, because when you inspire people, man, you change people's lives, man. So your platform can be God's platform as well. But y'all know where to find me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. I'm not into TikTok, but you know, I got a page, but hey, I'm an old man, so look, it is what it is. But y'all catch me Sunday on the post game show, man. The 95 North Sports Machine post game. Please come through. We're gonna, as we always do, open up the floor, let the fans vent on what they saw during the game. We had a great show last Sunday. I'm sorry, last Sunday. So look, Neil Berto too.
NIL Berto.
That's
why he really couldn't do it. He had to get that face scan together for the new. Yeah, right. I got it. I'm glad you mentioned that, Michael. It all makes sense now.
It is what it is. Shout out to our boy Terry, former ATL Sports One. Y'all can also check him out on One Time for the Fan on YouTube. But again, man, this has been another great show, man. We have another game, so James might come back through for game 2 in Tampa Bay. So y'all keep an eye out for that show, and I might have another Bucs guy on. My NFC South brother James, Mr. Bucs Nation, may join us. So y'all just stay tuned, man, because these shows will only get better during the year because we have a lot of guests coming through the top matchups during the week. But again, this is our time for the night, as my boy Berto said, and I can't say it like he can. We're gonna get y'all back out on Wednesday night, and we're gonna roll on out because it's almost time for some football, man, because I can't wait.
Let's get it. Peace.